Today we'll discuss the basic concepts. Okay. Srinath, Srikar, where are the rest of batch? The batch is missing. Only 2 members are present. Srikar, okay. I will continue. Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So see here. So I have written some important points. What is thermodynamics? This you know before. So so if the engineer is in a position to find answers to the following questions, he will be able to design and develop new process or improve upon the existing ones. So being in mechanical engineering after 4 years, you have to find answers to the following questions. If you know the answers for these three questions, you can design a new or you can modify the existing model. Okay. So what are those questions? So you can see here, is a certain change physical or chemical feasible or not? So what is this question? Is a certain change, what is that certain change? It can be physical or chemical. It can be physical or chemical. Okay. So next, how much energy is required for the desired change to take place? This is the second question. So what is the amount of energy you need in order to get a desired change? So what is that desired change? I will explain. Okay, next, the third question. To what extent does the change takes place? Is there any limit to the extent of change under the specified conditions? So this is a third point. Okay. So, so these are the three questions. Suppose assume that so I have taken piston cylinder of a internal combustion engine. Okay. So assume that this is a spark plug. Okay. This is a intake valve. Okay. This is intake valve and this is exhaust valve. Okay. So this is exhaust valve. So what happens here? Fuel air mixture comes inside this piston cylinder arrangement. So this is the fuel air mixture. So after compression, what happens? The piston moves in this direction and the fuel air mixture ignites because of this spark coming from this spark plug. Okay. So that's how we will get the energy from the fuel air mixture. So then piston will move downwards due to increase in pressure in this chamber. Okay. So this piston will move downwards. We will get a required output. What is that required output? The engine flywheel will move. Okay. So if this is the car, so this car will move in this direction due to combustion inside the engine. So what is the required output? The car is moving in this direction. So you have to question yourself how much energy you need so that the engine will move in this direction. That is the question. Okay. And how much extent it will be possible. So these are the questions. So for timing, just remember these questions, okay? So we'll go further. So these are the important points. So one atmosphere, you know what is one atmosphere? This is the standard unit to measure the pressure of atmospheric air. Okay? What is this one atmospheric? One atmosphere is the standard unit to measure the pressure of air. Okay? So what is one atmosphere is equal to 760 torr. So what is this torr? Torr is nothing but 1 millimeter, 1 millimeter, 1 mm, 1 mm of Hg. Hg is mercury. Okay? So you can equal to 101.325 kilopascal. So this you have to remember. What is one atmosphere? One atmosphere you have to tell 101.325 kilopascal or 1.01325 into 10 power 5 pascal. So what is this pascal? So there are two units. SI unit of pressure is a pascal. Okay. And what is CJ's unit? See here. CJ's unit of pressure is bar. So this is bar. So what is bar? Dyne per centimeter square. So what is pressure? Pressure is force per unit area. What is the force here in CJ's unit dyne? What is the area? Centimeter square. We are measuring the area in centimeter square and force in dyne. What is this DYN dyne? See, you can see here, dyne per centimeter square. So this is the CJ's unit of pressure. And what is SI unit of pressure? Pascal. So what is Pascal? Newton per meter square. What is Pascal? Newton per meter square. So I have abbreviated here Newton per meter square. Okay. Next. See, independent unit of pressure is standard atmosphere. What is this? ATM is not anytime this our ATM machine. This is only atmospheric pressure. So you can abbreviate here ATM. Okay. So what is standard atmosphere? Atmospheric pressure you can define here. One standard atmospheric pressure is defined as equal to the pressure exerted by a column of 760 mm mercury at 0 degree centigrade when density of mercury is this much. Okay, you can convert this density into kg per meter cube. Okay, and acceleration due to gravity is equal to generally it is 9.81 meter per second square, but here it is given centimeter per second square. See, you can calculate what is one atmospheric pressure is equal to rho GH. What is this? Rho GH. So I have taken rho value, rho, that means density of mercury, and here acceleration due to gravity. This is the column of mercury. Okay. So you can convert this kg per centimeter cube, kg per centimeter cube into kg per meter cube. So you can get in the denominator 10 power minus 6, that will go in the numerator as 10 power 6, and I have changed centimeter here into meter and mm into meter. So you can get finally 101. So this is 1,1325 Newton per meter square. I have converted kg per meter square into meter per second square. This is meter per second square means acceleration. Okay, acceleration into mass, that is the force, right? So force unit is Newton. In the Denominator it is meter square. Finally, Newton per meter square is again Pascal. Okay. So this is how we have got pressure value as 101.325 kilopascal. Okay. Up to here clear now? Any doubt? Shiva, Srinath, Shanmukh, Vishnu.
No, ma'am.
Clear, ma'am. Clear.
Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Ah, I'm here. Varshit, tell me.
Please explain 1 second.
I
I just entered now, ma'am.
at the your voice is not audible, ma. You can give me a message.
No, ma'am. He wants to say that he has just entered the class, ma'am. He wants you to repeat it once again.
Okay, okay. Sorry. So here at this point, so you can calculate pressure of a column as a rho GH. Okay, wait. Okay. So I will show here how the rho GH has come. Okay. Wait, wait. Wait. 1 second. So here, actually, take a tube, glass tube of mercury. In that, you pour mercury up to 760 mm height. You can measure the pressure at the bottom of the tube, glass tube, as rho GH. So this is a rho GH. So that's how you measure, but you have to tilt the glass tube upwards. Okay, you can measure in that way. So you just take rho as a 0.0135951. I have given some spaces here. So because there are some rules to write the numbers here. So, and this is kg per centimeter cube. Why? Because I have taken kg per centimeter cube. You can also convert into kg per meter cube. What is the density unit? Kg per meter cube, right now? And G, what is G? Acceleration due to gravity. What is the unit for acceleration due to gravity? Meter per second square. So that's why I have converted here. And H, what is this H? Column of mercury. So column of mercury means 760 mm. Okay, you have to convert into meters. If you multiply all these values, you can get 1,01,325. So, and here kg per meter cube, meter per second square, and meter. This meter and this meter, uh, you will uh, you will get here meter square, and one more meter here, meter per second square and kg per meter square. So what is the unit for meter per second square? You can say it as a acceleration. Okay, kg is the mass. Mass into acceleration means that is force. Force unit is Newton. In the denominator remaining meter square. So this is a unit for pressure, Newton per meter square. Force per area. Okay, force by area means Pascal. We are defining Newton per meter square as Pascal. Remember. Okay. So this is the Pascal. Newton per meter square is Pascal. Okay. So these are the basic things you already know. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds and 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. Okay, and 1 liter is equal to the basic one is 1000 ml. What is this ml? Milliliter. Again, you can write it as 1 liter is equal to 1000 centimeter cube. You convert centimeter cube into meter cube, you will get 10 power minus 3 meter cube. Okay, and what is 1 ton? 1 ton means 1000 kg. Okay, this I will explain later. What is absolute pressure? What is vacuum pressure? And here some of the rules are below, and here you have to know some prefixes. So what is 10 power minus 1? It is deci and the symbol is small d. And what is 10 power minus 2? This is centi, symbol is c, small c. Okay, what is 10 power minus 3? Milli. 10 power minus 6? Micro. 10 power minus 9? Nano. 10 power minus 12? Pico. And 10 power minus 15? Femto. 10 power minus 18? Auto. So these are the prefixes you must know. And so this is 10, just 10, only 10. What is 10? This is deca. And the symbol is dA. Observe here, this is small d and this is small d and a. So if dA is there, this is deca. If some only d is there, this is deci. Okay? And 10 power 2, that means 1000. This is hecto. And 10 power 3 means kilo. 10 power 6 is mega. 10 power 9 giga. 10 power 12, this is tera. And the symbol is capital T. 10 power 15 peta and 10 power 18 is exa. Okay, these are the prefixes. Okay. If you want to write down a big number, see here. Big number. See here, I am showing arrow 101325. This is the number. If I want to condense this number, I can write it as 101.325 kilo. I have used here kilo. Or else you can use the mega as 0.101325. This is how you can use prefixes kilo, mega, even milli, micro. So these are some rules. See here 50000, 5 zeros are there. I am condensing this number into 500 kilopascal or 0.5 megapascal. Okay. So this is how you can condense this number, because Pascal is a smallest quantity, but in actual applications we are using it as a kilo or mega, because Pascal is a small quantity. Okay, the value of Pascal is very less. That's why we are converting into kilopascal or megapascal. Okay. Next, see 10 power minus 9 meters. Here it is 10 power minus 9 meters means you have to write it as a 1 nanometer. What is this? N? N here you can see here. What is this N? Nano. You have to write 1 nanometer, but you should not write 1 milli micrometer. What is milli? 10 power minus 3. What is micro? 10 power minus 6. You can add, you just add this 10 power minus 3, 10 power minus 6. You will get it as a 10 power minus 9. So, but this is wrong. This is wrong. Okay. So you directly write what is 10 power 9. You just go this side. 10 power minus 9 means nano. So this is 1 nanometer. Okay. Any doubt up to here?
No, ma'am.
No, no?
No.
Okay, we will go further. More rules are there here. See here, 250 joules. 250 joules. You cannot write 250 Jx. This is wrong. This first one is wrong. Second one is I have used 250 capital J. You cannot use in plural number. Units should not be in plural. It should be only singular. If this is the case, what happens here? Joules into second. It will indicate in the first case. It will indicate joules into second. But this is wrong. We have taken only joules, right? So that's why you have to indicate it as a 250 J, capital J. Okay? And observe here. And Newton, what is N? What is N? N is a Newton. Correct now? So what it indicates, Newton is the unit for force. If you want to write in a full form, you have to write small n Newton. If you are writing capital N Newton, that means you are indicating scientist name. Okay? You should not write capital N while indicating as a unit. Okay? Next one. See, I have indicated 250 joules and a dot here. So this dot indicates it should be used at the end of sentence. If you are writing this 250 joules at the end of the sentence, you have to use this dot, period. Otherwise, you need not to use this dot. Okay, it should be used only if the sentence ends with the unit. Okay, this dot. So this is one rule. Okay, next one. See here, I have given here small m, capital N. What is this small m? Small m, just go here, small m. What is this small m? Milli. Okay, so you small m also indicates meters. I guess you all know small m also indicates meter, right? Okay, but there is a difference. How can you differentiate between milli and a meter? So here I have not used the space between small m and capital M. That indicates this is a millinewton. If for example I have used some space between small m and capital N, then it indicates meter into Newton. And also you can see I have used only small n while in full form. Okay, I have written in full form Newton, but I have not used capital N. You can see here, observe here. Okay. And second example is small m and s, small s. What is this? Millisecond. If I have used some small space between small m and small s, then it indicates meter into second. Okay. So by this we can conclude that we can, if you want to use milli micro, then don't use space before the unit. Okay. Just write adjacent to it. Milli. Okay. Next one. Next, here see, meter into second. What is this meter into second? Some wrong notations I have given here. If you want to indicate in units, symbols, then you have to give some space. That's it. You should not use into. In between symbol, between two symbols, you should not use any symbol. Okay, into. You just give some space. This will indicate meter into second. Okay. And also I have given some kilogram, milligram, microgram. So what is this kilogram? This is a small k, not big K. Okay. Just remember, this is a small k, small g. This is kg. And milligram means small m, small g. Can you observe here? I have not used any space between small m and small g. That indicates this is a milligram. And also microgram. What is this micro symbol? What is the micro symbol here? This one. Okay, right, correct.
Mu.
Right, mu. Next, this is 101325. Okay, see, observe, you can see I have combined 101 at one place and given some space between 1 and 3. That means between every 3 digits you have to give some space. Between every 3 digits you have to give some space. Here also I have given some 101.325. After point also you have to give some three digits. After that you have to give some space here. 0.101 I have given some space and 325. And between a number and a unit you have to give some space. Okay. After every three digits you have to give some space, and also after a number, but between number and a unit you have to give some space. Here I have also given some space here. Okay. And see, if you want to convert a number, that means if you want to condense a number into kilopascal or megapascal, the range should be between 0.1 and 1000. You have to only SI units, SI prefixes. Okay. What are the SI prefixes? For example, kilopascal and megapascal. Also, you can see in kilopascal I have used only small k, and pascal I have used a big P. Okay, capital P I have used and small a I have used. Remember this. This is a symbol for Pascal. Capital P and small a. And mega means mega, big M, and P, capital P and small a. Okay, remember this. Next, see here, 101 space 325, and I have not given any space. So this is wrong. First one is wrong. Second, 101 space again 325 again space again unit. So here it indicates between a number and a unit you have to give some space. Okay, not much space, just a little space you have to give. Next, this one. After 3 digits I have not given any space. This is wrong. But here 101 space 325. This is correct. Okay. So this one is correct. This is wrong. So this is over. So these are some basics. Is the screen visible? Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Madam.
Okay. Any doubt? Okay. So till now we have discussed so what is concept of continuum. Okay, reasons behind considering concept of continuum, and what is thermodynamic equilibrium. Totally mechanical, thermal, chemical comprises of thermodynamic equilibrium. So what is mechanical equilibrium? If there are no unbalanced forces within the system or between system and surroundings. So that is a mechanical equilibrium. Okay. Next, what is chemical equilibrium? If there is no matter transfer, or if there is no chemical reaction in the system or between the system and surroundings, then that is said to be at a chemical equilibrium. Okay. The system is said to be at chemical equilibrium. And what is thermal equilibrium? If there is no heat transfer between the system and surroundings, then you can say the system is in thermal equilibrium. Okay. So, and I have also discussed the property, state, change of state, path. Okay, what is property? Some characteristics of the system, you can say it as a property. So what are the characteristics? You can say pressure, volume, temperature,
Pressure, volume, temperature.
density, density of the air. Okay, you can say some characteristics. The system can have some characteristics. Those are said to be properties of the system. Okay, suppose in your room some air is there. You can say what are the properties of the air. You can give some characteristics: pressure, volume, temperature. Okay, what is state? State means if you are giving values to the pressure, volume, temperature, you can say your system is at some state. Okay, and what is the change of state? Suppose the temperature has changed from 27 degrees to 30 degrees centigrade, then you can say your system has changed from one state to another state. Okay, what is path? Join all the states. Okay, here you can see. So these are the marks. You can see I have joined all the points here. So I have got one path. Okay, so what are these marks here?
Yes.
These are the states. Okay, what is this marks? So these are the states. Okay, I have joined all the states from 1 to 2. I have got a path. Okay, what is path? You can say now. The succession of states passed through during a change of state is called path. Okay, this is the path. Next, what is process? So, what is the difference between path and process? Suppose if you are take this system, suppose I have taken
Path.
a piston cylinder arrangement like this. Okay. Suppose here I have increased the temperature of the system. Okay, here I have increased the temperature of the system and also I have fixed this piston. So the piston will not move upward or downwards. So this is the case. If I have increased the temperature, what will happen? What will happen? The pressure inside the cylinder will increase.
Boundary.
The pressure inside the cylinder will increase. Correct or not? If I increase the pressure, if I increase the temperature here, so obviously the pressure inside the piston cylinder arrangement will increase and the piston I have restricted here. Then the pressure will increase. That means you are increasing the temperature by fixing the volume. See, fixing the volume is a condition here. I have given a condition that the piston should not move and also the temperature inside the piston, inside the cylinder should increase. So this is the case. Okay, I have given a restriction here. What is the restriction? Constant volume. So constant volume means I have given a name to the process. See here. I have given a process. When the path is completely specified, the change of state is called the process. Understood, na? The change of state is called the process. That means in this process, I have given a constant volume process. So if you are mentioning some conditions, then you can say your path is a process. What you can say? Your path is a process. Until or unless if you are not giving any conditions, you cannot say this path is a process. Okay. So you can see from 1 to 2, again I have gone to one state. That means this is a cycle, right? Cycle means the starting point is 1. I am going to 2. Again I am coming back to 1. That means 1 is the initial point and 1 is also end point. So I am coming from 1 to 2 and I am going from 2 to 1. Okay, using the different path. Using different path, but I have come here at the starting point. That means this is a thermodynamic cycle. See here, a thermodynamic cycle is defined as a series of state changes such that the final is identical with the initial state. So what is the final state here? From 1 to 2, 2 to 1 I have come here. What is the final state, initial state? What is the initial state?
Madam,
1 now?
1,
What is the
1
final
1
state?
1 madam.
1.
1
That
ma'am.
means initial and final states are same. That means you can call these two parts combinedly, not individually. Combinedly, you have to say 1 to 2, 2 to 1 is a thermodynamic cycle. What is that? 1 to 2, 2 to 1 comprises a thermodynamic cycle. Again, say along with me. Process 1 to 2 and 2 to 1 is a thermodynamic
2
cycle.
to 1
Okay?
cycle.
Right, correct. So these are some intense properties, different types of properties are there. So after 3 minutes, you please rejoin the session. Okay? I will take only up to 11 o'clock. Okay? No problem now?
No.
Okay? Some properties, intensive properties, extensive properties. So what are the intensive properties? I will explain. Okay, see here. So I am taking, so this is the room. Okay, so this is the room I have taken here. Okay, suppose you students are sitting on the benches like this. Okay, so all over the place, completely you have occupied completely. Okay, so these are your places. Okay, I'm drawing here so that it will look like uniformly. So suppose assume that this classroom is having some volume. Suppose assume that length is A and width is also A. This is a square. So what is the volume? What is the volume? And height is also A. Okay? Height is also A. You can see what is the volume here?
A cube.
A cube. Suppose I have divided the class. Divided the class exactly to half. What happened to the volume? Is it divided for the two
Volume will be constant.
for this section 1, what is the volume? A cube by 2.
Volume will be constant.
Volume is constant, correct, but it will be half na for this section. This section it is A cube by 2. This section is A cube by 2. You can combine these two. You will get A cube. Understood this point? Any doubt?
Yes.
Firstly, I have taken a classroom having a volume A cube. Then I have divided the
Yes.
class.
So always right.
What happens here? Volume will be distributed na for the both the sessions. It will be A cube by 2.
Yes ma'am.
Right now? So that means volume is
Thanks,
divided
madam.
when you divided the system. Correct now? So volume can be, you can say volume is an extensive property. What is volume? Volume is an extensive property. That means it depends on the mass. Okay. That means if you are dividing this entire space into two equal parts, then mass also equally distributed. Correct now? So you are sitting here on the benches. What happens here? Total strength is let us say 10 members. Okay. Initially, here there are 5 students. Here there are 5 students. Okay. What happened here? If you are dividing the classroom, the students are also divided. They are also divided into